Well, hello there. Welcome once more to Quantua's Kitchen. And if this is your first time stopping by, I'd like to say a very warm welcome to you. So spring is almost here, and over here in Arizona, it is the perfect time to start my garden. I am off to Lowe's to pick a few flowers and vegetable seedlings, and I'm bringing you along with me because last year a lot of you asked me questions on gardening and wanted me to share with you how I do my gardening. So I hope you enjoy this video. We are picking some seedlings, some plants from here, and then we'll go home and I'll show you how I got my yard ready and we'll plant everything that we got. And I really hope it's helpful to you. So we're almost here at Lowe's, and so let's do this. Okay then, come along with me. Such beautiful plants out here. I just love flowers. So first of all, I'm getting a few flowers for my backyard. I have this little area that I put my annuals. I plant annuals. Yeah, I spent quite a bit of money on there, but I love my flowers and I love to see plants grow, especially in my backyard because it's a perfect view for me when I'm in my kitchen doing my chores and I just open the windows and I can see, the blinds and I can see all these beautiful plants. That really makes me happy. So I'm trying to find the perfect one. Some of them are just crooked. I want one that will be like just standing upright and beautiful. And it wasn't easy to find one, but eventually I did. I think this will do. This is a better one, I think. This is the best time of the season. I love spring. I just love all the beautiful, gorgeous colors. And I wish I could bring everything to my yard. But of course, it's money and time. Who's going to be able to take care of all these plants? Just a few, and hopefully I don't kill them. Seriously, I'm a little bit good with my flowers here. So I'm done picking my flowers, and so I'm over here at the vegetable section picking some few veggie plants, and this is Serrano Chiles. I don't have that in my yard, so I'm going to add that to my peppers. My peppers have done well for the past 2 years. They've always come back, so I'm just trying to add like a little bit more variety to that. And so that's the poblano. I'm going to plant that as well. And tomatoes haven't been so great. I haven't been so great with my tomatoes in Arizona. In Delaware, I was like one heck of a tomato farmer, like a lot of tomatoes I harvested. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to pick as many varieties as possible. And that is the main reason I'm starting early this year because last year I don't think I started early enough. So yeah, and I find another flower. I think this is beautiful, so I'm going to get this as well. So anyway, I hope this year my tomato does well. So I'm just trying to get as many different varieties as possible and hopefully I will get to know which one is going to do well. And this is just like a grape tomato, for garnish, for your salads and the rest, you know. And I'm just going to go ahead and plant all these different varieties and hopefully one or two will do well and I will know. So next year I will focus on that. In the East Coast, if you live in Delaware or any of that area, in Pennsylvania and Delaware, when I lived there, I used to plant the Rutgers heirloom and it did amazing. Beautiful tomatoes, delicious, very meaty. Yes. And so over there, I just put some Italian parsley and now I'm getting some garden sage. I love sage for my poultry. So hopefully this does well and I'll have that for my chicken. And this is flowering already, so I think it's going to be perfect. It will grow faster, you know. You put better than terminate. So I got two of those, yeah, because I don't want to take chances. Hopefully this will be my miracle plant, it will fruit early, and I'll pick a few just to make me happy and know at least my tomato is doing well now here in Arizona. They really make me feel like a failure. Okay, we are back home now, and it's time to do some real work. Okay, so you see how bushy this backyard is? I really haven't done any work here probably since early November or late October. The planting season was literally over, and there was nothing here to pick really. And so I've been busy doing other things. I haven't really paid attention to my backyard. And I was like, oh my God, look at all the weeds. I was just dumbfounded when I came back here, and just mentally trying to think about all the work that needed to be done for me to start my garden. So I actually did this the day before. So this was done prior to going to Lowe's to pick the plants. And thank God when I came out here, it had rained. So the ground was very wet. So uprooting everything was so easy. And that helped me to be able to even uproot some of the vegetable plants that I thought, I didn't need that many of, especially my eggplants. I have probably like 5 plants, and they do so well. I have way too many eggplants, and I thought I could just, leave about 2 of that variety. Yeah, and look, as I put it, I found out that I still have my cilantro from last year. It had come up. It was just buried in all those bushes. I would never have known, and that I'm so super excited for. So anyway, these eggplants, like I'm saying, they're just taking up a lot of space. It's very fruitful. I don't need many, so I'm just uprooting some of them, and this is only because the ground is so wet between the rains that we had, plus having a irrigation system on. It was just and not being so warm. It was just so wet out there. It was easy for me to uproot, and that really was a plus. Like I was so happy I did it at this point in time before it got dry. And my cages, I think they were sitting on my eggplant for support. These are the white eggplants in that area, but I'm just taking the cage off because the plant died completely. There's literally nothing, and now I'm just trimming it off a little bit. You see it started already coming. I have some leaves showing, and it's going to do amazing. And here are some onions. I had some onions that were just germinating here in my pantry, so I took them outside and planted, and I think they're doing very well. So I have the leaves. Anytime I'm running low or I don't have scallions, I could definitely use those leaves. And my mint, remember my uh, ginger mint juice video? I had literally no mint here, but just look, with the cold weather and lots of water, to the plant, it is just doing so great. It is going wild again, and so I've been making a lot of ginger mint juice, and it's very good. If you haven't checked that out, check the recipe, and hopefully that makes you want to plant a mint. It does very well. You just one little plant, and it just spreads, with enough um, drainage or water to it. It just does amazing. So I'm just picking the weeds around it, and really I observe the plants really there's not enough weeds in there. I think it's just doing so well. The weeds don't even have any nutrients if they come in to that side. So the mint didn't have that much bush. And do you even see how much work I've done? I was out here for about 2.5 hours. And this is just weeding the parts where my flowers are. On the sides of the house, it's just wild, crazy. It's just a big shame. We probably need somebody to come and do it. But yeah, by day four number. Mom will for more friendly rubber double me. See how good I'm doing? Yeah. And as the saying goes, well, boom, ne betcha wado. So, abomo, the it's like the taste, the flavor, how good your stew is that you will serve the worker in your yard will determine how well they will weed for you. So yeah, just give me a good pot of food and I will surely come and do your yard for you free of charge. Just feed me, okay? Okay. Ignore my dry skin. I live in the desert. It was early morning. Yeah, and finally I am done. This is done. And I am super, super, super excited. Yeah. I just have to clean up my mess and I'll leave that pile for my husband to deal with when he comes home. But hey, I think I did very well. He's going to be super surprised. But I've always done this part of the yard. I'm definitely not doing the sides. That is just way too much work. I just care about my flowers and my garden. And yeah, this is the parts that I manage. And I think I do a pretty decent job. Call me if you need me to come and weed your yard, okay? Just get the food ready. Abomu papa. And the betcha I think I really, really make my family happy. I come from a family of farmers. So this is just me being a real Equibria footballer. That is my grandmother's name. And all her children love, maybe her descendants, we love to garden. So this is just me being really who I am. I just enjoy being on the outdoors and I'm thankful for the privilege to be able to do this. It makes me happy just to see my plants and to be able to eat what I grow and grow what I eat. Yeah. So just two eggplants here, the purple one and the white ones. Did you see my rosemary? Wild. And very soon I'll have my lemongrass coming back up. Yeah. So it's time to plant these plants, and this, of course, was also the next day. So I did this in a stretch of 3 days, but I came home from work. I was like, I need to eat before I do this, okay? So me chatty kakra by day four no na make an wabomu na beche wado. So I'm feeding myself to be able to do my work. Unfortunately, no abom, but hey, pan on tea be so any bad sa bagel and tea. And so, yeah, of course, you need some energy in there. You need some food for this kind of work, and you're easy, like seriously. So I'm going to plant, first of all, as you can see, I'm doing my tomato that is already flowering first, because that is like my priority right now. And I really, really hope this does well. Like, I'll be so thankful that for once, 2 years in a row, I haven't had the thrill of just harvesting tomatoes in abundance. And I miss that. I really do miss that. Like, that alone makes me wish I was back in the East Coast. So hopefully this year is going to be a little bit different. And as you can see, I always put the name, of the plant right by it because I want to be able to know which ones did well, which varieties, and so that way I'll be able to plant more of that in the subsequent years. If you could see from my habanero plant from like 2 years ago, it still has its name there, and that helps me to know, when I say my scorpion pepper did well or anything, it's not because I knew it way ahead of time, but I keep the name. So, after a while, you know what plants you're dealing with. And I hope that is a good tip for you as well. So we're going to plant one of our organic peppers in here. I think that's the poblano. right by the tomatoes. And hopefully it does well. Peppers have really done well a lot, very, very well for me. And that is one irrigation spout. We live in the desert, so we normally have irrigation on my yard, but it's not enough to cover all my plants. So you will still see me coming in here like on the daily basis to water my plants as well, because that irrigation is not good for the garden. It's good for the flowers in the front and on the sides, but it doesn't cover all the beds well. And that is one of them right there. And this plant was lucky enough to get one, directly linked to it. And one thing I almost forgot to mention is I buy lots and lots of garden soil, like topsoil, to fill up or cover my loamy red soil that is like typical desert kind of soil. But even if you don't live on the desert, unless you live in a place like Ghana where we have lots of loamy soil, you might need to buy garden soil to be able to get your garden going. I hope that is a good tip as well. So thank you so much for doing this with me, for staying with me, and I hope you got some tips that will be helpful to you in your gardening, and it will be some inspiration for you as well. So until I come your way next time with something delicious or beautiful, be loving, be kind, be happy.